Hello to everybody. Stefano Bravi welcomes you all. I will describe here the Arrigo Pola singing technique. In my book, The Many Voices of Men, I describe many singing techniques, but I personally feel that Arrigo Pola singing technique was fantastic. Why? Because it was a technique based on nature, which means no placement anywhere in the throat, in the larynx, in the mask, or whatever. He was stressing his attention on the passaggio instead, which, under his point of view, and I firmly believe it, was fixing the middle range, the lower range, and the higher range. So he used to teach the passaggio very well. And I think I developed it from the beginning because I always had a very easy production, so I understood immediately what he meant. And I used to cover the vowel, the sounds on I bemol, which is mi bemolle till A bemol, fino alla bemolle. Because if you girare these sounds, then you will have a very easy production of voice. The beauty, the resonance improves a lot, and of course, it gives you a very strong foundation for a great singing. I did not hear Maestro Rico Pola putting much attention on breathing technique. I have never heard him saying anything about breath control or anything like that. I don't know why. I personally haven't asked him anything, except once that I asked Maestro Pola, how do you breathe? And he said, Stefano, go in the window, and meanwhile you open the windows with both arms, you breathe. So I did it, and I realized that I was doing what is called the Taoist breathing, which is the when you breathe, the abdomen sinks in. Well, it's a technique they use in Kung Fu as well. Um, and if you read Lily Lehman book and Maestro Marafiotti, which is the Caruso's method of voice production, he used to do the same thing too. But apart from that, which can be interpreted in many ways, I haven't heard anything about it anymore. Now, let's have a closer look to the so famous passaggio. Because the point is that what is the know how? I'll tell you now. Although, of course, you will never learn from listening to this, but just to make it clear. Passaggio, the passage, okay, from, in my case, mi bemolle to la bemolle. How do you do it physically with the body? First, the breath is going out, okay, because human nature, or God, or call it whatever you want, has meant the human breath to go out physically. It's a physical action. The breath goes out. Full stop. So you can fake the whole thing thinking that the breath is going in or going down or doing, on the larynx or the, squeezing down the larynx and all those techniques of affondo, whatever you like, but it is not. It's against human nature. That's it. Okay? So, why do I say this now? Because when you do the passaggio, you can fake it, lowering down the larynx and breathing the sound, or inhaling the breath, lowering down the now. That is not the right way to do it. The right way, at least what is Luciano Pavarotti is doing and what Maestro Arrigo Pola taught everybody, and then somebody did it better, but that's depending on its nature, is the passaggio happens in the mouth cavities. Because remember, you don't sing on vowels, you don't sing on sound, you sing on the spoken word. Now, when you do the passaggio, yes, of course, the larynx goes down, but you don't think about it. It's a yawn or a vomiting. It's not that nice to say, but it is the same sensation when you blow up. Sorry to say that, but that is how the back of the throat should feel, when you yawn in the morning. That is the sensation of the passaggio, which is a darkened sound, which is a vowel. The sound means vowel. It's a more compressed sound. It's a smaller, apparently smaller sound, but more compressed. It's not wide open, but it's compressed. And that is done. It's you have to play with exercises that plays on the passaggio, even if you win on the lower register, which I don't think there is any register, but anyway, let's call it lower notes, lower range, with a scale of 5 notes. You have to play with opening and covering, opening and covering, opening, covering, You play with your mouth, with your yawn. You have to assimilate the movement. Then when the body assimilates that, it comes natural. As well, your mind will record that. But don't get fast in many other things, because then your ear gets confused and your body, as a consequence, will produce a different sound, a different movement. So, this is what is the passaggio. But again, I cannot teach anything to anybody. I think everybody is already a great singer. Because remember, singing comes from emotion. It's not based on the passaggio. Of course, you can learn the passaggio to have a very good, solid foundation in technique. But singing comes from freedom of emotion. My experience with the Maestro Arrigo Pola school comes from direct experience, which means that I have studied with him personally approximately 1.5 years, 2 years in Modena. And so it comes from this experience. So I hope that this helped you, and I wait for you in my classes or my master classes. You know how to get in touch with me, and remember that singing is based on freedom of motion. So this is very, very important. And the passaggio is just a technical skill. What you need to free is your heart. So I hope I see you soon. Ciao.